I don't think the most dangerous place a woman can be is when she's falling apart. I think it's when she doesn't. When she's still showing up and she's still answering and producing and still being the one everyone relies on. But inside, something has already left. There's no breakdown, there's no warning, just quiet burnout hiding in plain sight. And the scariest part, everyone calls it strength. Welcome back to Women on the Brink. I think one of the most dangerous places a woman can be is not when she falls apart. It's when she doesn't. When she's still showing up and still answering the emails and making dinners and being all reliable. But inside, something has quietly packed its bags and slipped out the back door. And there's been no announcement, no breakdown, no dramatic moment, even when other people gather around and say, wow, she's really struggling. No, no, she's just functioning. And from the outside, it actually looks like strength. But from the inside, it feels like walking through wet cement. And I know this place. I've been there. It's a place where you can get through a full day and then sit in your car in complete silence before going into the house because you just simply don't have one more ounce of on left in you. It's the place where people say, I don't know how you do it all. And you just smile. But what you don't say is, I don't know how much longer I can. Functional burnout is really sneaky because you're not failing at your life. You're actually quite good at it. I mean, well, most of it at least, because let's face it, somewhere along the way, something has to give. And that's usually the problem. You become so capable, so efficient, so practiced at carrying everything, so hyper functional that no one sees the cost, including you sometimes. I mean, I'm guilty. And here's where it gets even more complicated. There's a lot of women on the brink right now. They may not just be burned out. They might be in the middle of a, reinvention, if you want to call it that. Maybe they're going back to school or changing careers or leaving relationships or navigating bodies that don't feel familiar to them anymore. They are literally becoming someone new while still being responsible for everyone who depends on who they used to be. And that's not a small thing. I mean, this is a new little threshold. And here's what might kind of burn a little bit. It's really hard to keep performing your old life while quietly trying to build a new one underneath it without, something in you collapsing. Usually it's your energy or your joy or your sense of self. We see this a lot in women who are transitioning through menopause because functional burnout is not just exhaustion. It's a total misalignment. It's what happens when your life keeps asking you to be someone you're already in the process of outgrowing. And your body will tell you. Oh, it will tell you because, fatigue that doesn't go away with rest or weird symptoms or anxiety that shows up out of nowhere. Or how about a short fuse where there used to be patience? This isn't you falling apart. This is just your body communicating with you. So here's the tricky part. When this was happening to me, because I was still functioning, I convinced myself that it's not that bad. I would say I'm fine. It's just a busy season. I'll deal with it later. Women are really, really good with later, don't you think? Until later becomes that breaking point. So what do we actually do with this? And not the fluffy answer. I mean, we're not going to take a bath and light a candle. I mean, this is real life stuff. So we really have to start telling ourselves the truth. And maybe not, we don't have to share it with everyone, not at first anyway, but at least to ourselves and start naming where life no longer fits. Maybe, I used to think I was a bit of an overgiver or I was always pushing. I feel like I've always been the person that I know I'm tired and I know that I should take a rest, but I just push through it. And you stay in situations because they're familiar, not because they're a good fit anymore. And you begin like slowly and imperfectly starting to shift. And not overnight, I mean, but sort of one decision at a time, one boundary maybe, or one no, or one moment where you don't override yourself, right? Because the goal is not to become someone who can handle more. I mean, oh my God, no. The goal is to become someone who no longer has to. So I'll leave you with this. If you're still showing up, still doing what needs to be done, but something inside you feels tired in a way that sleep doesn't fix, you're probably on the brink of a change your current life hasn't quite caught up to yet. And maybe it isn't the beginning of your collapse, it's the beginning of maybe some honesty. And that's where everything starts to shift.